Man, by far the best thing about this YouTube channel is all the feedback that I get from you guys. Some of you guys won't believe this, but I actually learn a lot from you guys and the discussions we have. I read through all of the messages, through to all of the comments. I try to at least. It's kind of hard when I've got days, 12-hour shifts. But I try to catch up as much as I can. But one of you guys saw my video yesterday and he was like, dude, you can do this at home, man. You just get a barbell, put some padding underneath, and there you go, man. You got yourself a seated calf raise machine. I looked them up yesterday and they're around, like really good ones, around $600 to $1,000. Once again, it's a fairly simple thing. It's more of a tool, not a machine. But anyway, I really get excited when I can actually, do something at home and work it out by myself. So what I did here, I just took my barbell, kind of the other barbell, kind of my beta barbell, and I found some ankle weights that I used to have from back in the day, man, like 10, 15 years ago. Dug them out and they're kind of filled with this sand. So I just kind of taped them up just underneath where my quads are, with the suprapatellar tendon is, just so it's kind of a bit more cushiony. And I did that and worked really well. And then I think on the second or third set, I realized that I could actually put my legs on at the bottom of the bench, So then I didn't use the plates and used that, and I kind of put the pins on the squat rack in such a way that I don't have to lift and get out of awkward positions and whatever. So it kind of worked out all right. So I got a really good pump in the calves again. Really good discussions from yesterday's video. Guys are talking about anterior tibialis as well and how important that is to stabilize the ankle, just like the hip and the knee and everything. You can't just concentrate on the agonist and not the antagonist. That's what health really is when it comes to human movement. You need a balanced thing. So anyway, some of the things I said in some of these comments is that I feel like when I'm doing these calf raises, I feel like the anterior tibialis is actually getting work as well. Because at the bottom, I don't know, I feel that was work as well. I don't have the DOMs that I have of the calves and the soleus, but I feel like it's working. But anyway, it's something to consider moving forward. So I'm trying to do this every single day now. Arnold Schwarzenegger back in the day, he struggled initially with his calf development, and then when he started doing them every day, he realized that this muscle is different. And he says it all of the time, like your forearms, your abs, and your calves, they're kind of a different kind of beast. Slow twitch fibers are really resistant to fatigue, so you really have to train them a lot. If you think about it, they walk every day, man. They do 1,000 reps. So when you do 10 reps with a heavy weight, it doesn't really do anything to them. So these type of muscle tissues need a lot of repetition. So I basically aim for 50 reps. Maybe one day, when I get stronger with sets of 50, I'll maybe challenge some, with some weight, some heavy weight. But I really think that that's not the muscle for that. I think it's for repetition. But anyway, I feel like my ankle mobility has come a long way since I've started experimenting with the calves. A lot of you guys have said that it makes sense, right? It makes sense that if your calves are stronger, they will, just by the virtue of strength, get longer. I've said this many, many times before. A tight muscle is usually a weak muscle. A strong muscle then, by using that logic, is a longer muscle. So that's kind of my approach with this, and I feel like I'm in the right kind of stead with this. A lot of you guys have also said, why don't you use Olympic weightlifting shoes? Well, I've had kind of bad experience with that. My TFL issue was worsened when wearing Olympic weightlifting shoes. When I took my Olympic weightlifting shoes off, I started feeling better and better. So I don't know, I've kind of moved away from them. And I don't really like how they feel on my feet kind of in between sets. They're so rigid, they just clunk, 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 walking around. It's not a comfortable shoe. I do like minimalistic kind of footwear. Even when I go to work, I wear basically Converse shoes that are kind of leather. So, I don't, if there's spillage or whatever, bodily fluids, blood, whatever the case, it doesn't go straight to my sock. But basically, I love Converse because they're kind of minimalistic in nature. They're flat, minimal. Your foot can breathe and move around, and it's kind of like a glorified sock, really. So that's kind of why I don't wear all these shoes. And basically, that kind of motivates me as well to work on my ankles and get that natural ankle mobility. I'll tell you a story, man. I remember a few years ago, we went with the kids to a park, and there was some more parents there, more kids and whatever, and I saw this one guy squatting down next to his daughter. He was a tall, lanky guy, man, taller than me, right? So we're talking 185 centimeters up. Man, he was squatting down in this park. His back was basically vertical. his knee was so far ahead of his freaking ankles and his toes that I was gobsmacked. I got to talk to him a little bit later on, and he said that he was a soccer player. Anyway, and that's where kind of we left it, and I've been thinking about this on and off kind of over the years. So what do soccer players do? Like, if you ever see soccer players kind of like just start training sessions, they jog very, very slowly around the pitch several times. That's kind of their warm-up. They're kind of like a boxer's kind of run, you know? They're not running like a 400-meter sprinter or whatever. Like, they're just kind of just bouncing on their feet and making their way around the field. And so now I'm thinking to myself, maybe he's gotten that range of motion because his soleus is so freaking jacked and strong and long, and he just can get into these positions. Anyway, so a really cool thing to do is look at other disciplines, other sporting endeavors, and see what their bodies are like. This is 180 kilos here. By the way, I'll get back to the calf story, but by the way, my lower back was fried from yesterday, so I was kind of feeling a little bit weak in my posterior chain here, so this was kind of a bit of an iffy rep. Let me have a look at it though, how it is on camera. It always lies to me on camera. Yeah, it's not bad at all. My lower back is fried though, so you're not gonna see me doing GHDs today. I really need a day off. Like, it's sore to touch my rectors. So that's basically for the squatting. But yeah, as I was saying, look at other disciplines and see what other disciplines are like in terms of like body human movements. And here I'm doing leg extensions. I did several sets of this just to pump the quads. One of you guys mentioned ballet dancers, like they have like supreme calves because they're always kind of in that extended position. Cyclists also have crazy calves. I've got a family member in my family who does a lot of riding, and he has incredible dorsiflexion. He's taller than me, man. He's got long ass legs, but he can squat with a flat back, ass to grass. So I have certain kind of stories around me to look around and compare myself to, and a lot of these guys have some sort of endurance background, and that kind of tells me that, you know what I mean, like the calf is an endurance muscle. They're doing this endurance sport and they have really good dorsiflexion. Maybe I should take a leaf out of that, you know. And so anyway, that's how I look at it. I look at other disciplines and see if I can kind of cherry pick some ideas from there. Powerlifters don't do any endurance mostly. Like, it's frowned upon. Oh, don't do that. Don't do cardio, man. You'll lose all your gains. That kind of mentality. I've heard it ever since I walked into the gym. If you want to be a bro, if you want to be a big muscly guy, stay the hell away from like long ass cardio, steady state cardio, whatever. And then, you know, bodybuilders would say, oh, you know, you do cardio just to get, you know, melt the fat away. But never have I heard do cardio to get your calves right. So anyway, this is where my mind is. This is why I've kind of taken this upon me. I do want to get back to running a little bit, but running is so beyond me right now and my foot strength that I'm not ready for it. Maybe one day I'll get back to it. Maybe, you know, some more weeks of soleus training with the seated calf raises. But eventually, hopefully I'll get there. And that's another really interesting thing. My soleus hurts from running, but my gastrocnemius, the upper one, the outer one, nothing. Like, I can squeeze them as much as I can. Like, as I'm talking to you now, I'm squeezing them. There's no DOMs at all. Move down a little bit down the shin, and whoa, that's where the pain is. So it's kind of like the soleus is the shock absorber, and maybe that's what limits ankle dorsiflexion. Anyway, guys, here I'm letting you know my thoughts again. But that's it for today. A bit of an easier day, but still a productive day. All right, guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.